So here is the Samsung Chromebook in Arctic White that came here today at Shore Communications. It's a little bit smaller overall than the Cr-48, but basically the same size and just a little bit lighter. You really don't notice it offhand when you pick it up. It's about the same weight, but definitely slightly different configuration here. This is the back side, just a hinge. Nothing extra. Here is one side panel, left or right depending on how you're looking at it. And you have a headphone jack. You have a little pop-down door that shows a mini RGB jack and a USB port and your power jack. On the front of the unit, on the left-hand side here, is an SD card bay. And we'll be putting in a 16 gig card there later on. And on the other side here, on the right-hand side, is a fully exposed USB port. And on the left-hand side is nothing. That's pretty much it for the outside pieces. So we're going to be powering it up here in a second to see how startup looks. Okay, so we're going to be powering up the unit now. And bear in mind, this is going to be done from the perspective of somebody who was using Chrome OS previously on a Cr-48. So let's see what happens once we get it up and see what the unit looks like. Okay, we're flipping open the lid. Seems to be powering up nice and smoothly. Okay, about 10 seconds for a first time use of the unit. And I'll punch in my network. Okay, network is selected. Looks like it's connecting and will now continue. Terms and conditions. Checking for updates. Okay, so it completed the updates and rather quickly went into reboot mode. And I'd reckon that it was a little faster than what we were doing before with the other unit. So let's see what happens on sign on. Even though I have an existing account, it's asking me to get one of these pictures. I'm just going to take kind of a stupid picture for now. Just to get things rolling. And there you go, you're in. But as you can see right now, it still looks like a standard Chromebook. I'm going to have to do a sync here in order for it to be able to understand what my usual Chromebook environment's about. So I'm going to go over here. To settings, personal stuff, and set up our sync. Oops, need the application specific password. I have two-step authentication. I thought that this might be an issue. So, one application specific password layer later. Sync everything. That's pretty cool. It syncs in all my bookmarks, all my extensions, my theme, etc. Everything is automatically inserted there. So now we're up and running, and this is now my Chromebook. Very simple matter. We're going to give a test as to what the startup time looks like versus the Cr-48 here in the next sequence. Okay, in this next sequence we are going to see how startup times compare for a Cr-48 on the left and a Samsung Chromebook on the right. Just in passing, at this angle you can definitely see that the Chromebook from Samsung has a much sleeker look overall than the Cr-48 in terms of its size and its shape, although really in terms of their total footprints and weight they're pretty darn close. So let's see what happens when we lift the lids on these two things as simultaneously as I can manage. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, look at that. That was almost a full 2 seconds faster on the Samsung Chromebook. That was pretty interesting. Another thing that I'm noticing so far is that the screen on the Chromebook is supposed to be extra bright, 300 nits of brightness, we're told. I have both of these displays jacked up to maximum brightness at the time, and frankly I can't see any difference. If anything, in the Samsung it looks like it has a little bit more of a yellowish color overall. So we're going to try these out in daylight now just to see what those look like. So as you can see here, this is in very strong sunlight, and both the screen intensities on both of these units are jacked up to the max, and the Cr-48 does okay, but you can see there really is a noticeable difference here on the Chromebook. It has much better contrast, and although you could probably make do with both of them, it would definitely be much easier to see things clearly on the Chromebook. So the claim of being able to work in bright sunlight seems to hold up.